Welcome back to The Reset. I am Sean Tucker, human performance scientist and authority architect. We are here in the living lab documenting the science, the struggle, and the shift for every high-performance dad and founder who's ready to bridge the gap between their ambition and their presence. You are not overwhelmed. You're just not here. And before we get into this episode, please go into the show notes and click on the links for Spotify and Apple Podcasts to give us a rating for this show. Because what that does, it helps get in front of the man who needs it today. That aside, thank you so much. You're not overwhelmed. You're just not fully here. And look, I get it. There are days where it's hard, where it is so hard. Everyone's pulling at your wit's end. Everyone's trying to tug a little bit of energy from you. You have to make decisions. I get it. And you are probably pretty overwhelmed. There's probably a lot going on in your life right now. You got little kids running around, or maybe slightly older kids running around. Maybe they're asking for your wallet. Can I buy this? Can I buy that? You got your wife who seems to be getting a little bit more distant from you in the relationship that you guys once had. You've got your business. You've got your work. You've got a team to manage. There's just so many things going on in your life. And that's not even factoring in, your own health and well-being. That's everything outside of you. So of course it's going to be overwhelming. But one thing to remember is this: you are not the mind. So when you have those thoughts racing at 11 o'clock at night or 2 in the morning, where you can't get back to sleep, or you can't even get to sleep, I'm not the mind. You're not even the body. Remember, you are the awareness of both of those and all of those. You don't own them. They are yours to look after, but you don't own them. They are rented. Because inevitably, you're going to die. You're going to die. And where does the body go? It's the cycle of life and death, right? Eventually, it's going to go back into the soil. So you really are just a tiny speck in the grand scheme of what life actually is. So don't get too caught up on it. I know it feels overwhelming because your brain is trying to comprehend all these little bits of information that don't have certainty. Because that's one thing your brain tries to hold on to, is certainty. Especially when you're leaping into the unknown territories even more. I know how scary it is. I really do get it. But there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. Because the only thing that's inevitable is that you die. I'm sorry to put it so blunt, but that's just how it is. You're going to die. Your mind will also die. The memory of who you think you are right now will die as well. But before that, try and get a good night's rest. Can you park away all of the worries, all of the beliefs that things are not going the way they should be, that things are not working out perfectly, the way that the plan, destiny has intended for you? Because everything is working out exactly the way it's meant to work out. It's only your mind cannot see that, because it's trying to interpret all the data through a filter that's built on logic. And logic only makes sense to the point where things don't make sense. And when things start to not make any sense anymore, that's when you know you're getting into unknown territory. And yeah, it gets scary. It gets scary, but do you remember falling asleep? Or do you just remember waking up? I'm not asking these questions because I know more than you. Not at all. In fact, I would say I probably know less than you. And it's not even to compare. It's just stating a fact. I'm not that smart. All I do, I give it my best to be absolutely here. And Here all the time? No, absolutely not. I worry just like you. I get stuck in those thought loops. I get stuck in those shame loops all the time. But it's how quickly you can not turn them off, because you can't turn them off. Refocus on something else. It's how quickly you can refocus towards something else. Because all of those things, they're all just happening here. All those thoughts are just little loops of trains going by, little waves happening in the ocean. The waves stopped. Would you notice that they've stopped? I probably wouldn't, because it's just so normal. It's just so normal. And what becomes normal? It's your normal for a reason. But what you can practice to something really tangible to practice from here is use that mantra. I'm not the mind. I'm not the body. I'm not even the mind. It's powerful, because your worries really start to get lesser and lesser. You don't forget about them, but you start to create a distance between yourself and them. You realize that you're not your worries. You ask anyone who's had, I guess, some sort of invitation from death, I would say, or had a close calling to understand how fragile their life is. I always say the same thing. The things you worry about don't really matter. There's only very few things that actually matter. And right now, it's probably a good idea to learn how to get a good rest. Because when you're fully rested, you can be more conscious. When you're more conscious, you can be making better decisions. And you can actually understand what life's all about. And you can start to create joy when it feels like you're suffering. So it goes from being suffering to being joyful, painfully joyful. So if you have found this episode helpful, please go ahead and rate it. Give it a rating in Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. I appreciate that very much. If you want to stop being a passenger in your own life and start being the architect of your legacy, make sure you scroll a little bit further down in the show notes. There'll be something said that's called the 7-day nervous system reset. It's designed in an email series to build one day from the last one. It works on you actually doing the work. And it helps you build the man from the ground up. Give it a shot. I'm looking forward to hear your results. Because remember, most people wait for their life to change. We are the ones who architect our choices. Change your state. Choose how you show up. I am Sean Tucker. I will see you in the next one.